the numbskulls and sheltered people that don't know nothing. He made them feel like something special, so they showed up and voted for him. Hillary, she didn't show up. She didn't show up for black people because she made that assumption that we was gonna be there. Because she had Barack Obama at her rallies and Michelle Obama at her rallies. She thought that was her part for getting the black vote, and it just wasn't enough. A little bit more effort, and you get Detroit in there and get Milwaukee in there, and she would have won. But we live and we learn.
So
maybe people will wake up this time.
So in closing on politics, before we transition to the NBA Finals, so do you apologize? So do you feel you owe the American public an apology, that Buttercup?
I don't owe nobody no apology. I don't know. I don't owe nobody an apology. I didn't sway nobody's vote. Because I voted for the same person I talked junk about. And I still mean everything I said about him. But I'll take a crooked Hillary over a crooked Donald any day. At least crooked Hillary cared about whether you starved to death or not.
Gary G. Money Joyner in the chat room, your boy, who voted third party, by the way, thanks to you and your little Hillary button, your little Bernie button.
I didn't vote third party.
Gary G. Money Joyner said he's tired of the lesser of two evils. They cheated Bernie. They cheated.
Right.
Hey, well, let me read this right. I'm trying to read this thing right. He said, I'm tired of lesser of two evils. They cheated Bernie, looked up millions of black men, called us subhuman, and produced the prison slave system with her husband. See, Gary G. Money Joyner, he's too stuck on that Bill Clinton stuff. So Gary G. Money Joyner must have been listening to Fox News, because he's saying a whole bunch of Fox News talking points against Hillary. He has yet to say what Donald Trump has done in his first abominable 100 days. He's still talking about why he couldn't stand Hillary. So before we talk about NBA Buttercup, what you got to say to folks like Gary G. Money Joyner? How can you sway Gary G. Money Joyner to get back on the right track for the midterms?
Gary G. Money Joyner, I totally feel you, but this was not the right election to try to prove a point. Yeah, the DNC did Bernie wrong, but if Bernie himself could say, every time somebody asked, about, how he got them wrong, he was like, I will do anything I can to keep Donald Trump from getting elected. And I was on board with that. That was my goal, to keep Donald Trump from getting elected. This was not the election to prove a point. And we praying for it, because it just wasn't the election to prove a point. What state does G Money live in?
He live in Atlanta. He live in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Well, I can give him a pass, because red slave state Georgia, unless you get all the black people in Atlanta and Savannah and Augusta to vote, unless you get all the black people to vote, that's going to be a red state. So he could take that risk. So Hillary still won the popular vote. That don't matter, but I'm just saying. And if G Money lived in Michigan or Wisconsin or Pennsylvania, I'd be like, no, man, you did wrong. But he live in a red state, so it really didn't matter. They haven't been voting third party. It didn't matter.
G Money got an answer to your statement. He said we gotta make a stand sometime. He said we gotta make a point sometime.
I agree, but this wasn't it. This wasn't it, because Donald Trump was too risky. If somebody with some sense had been nominated on the Republican side, where it wouldn't have been such a gamble, but Donald Trump, that wasn't nothing to play with. And what have we learned? He ain't nothing to play with. He is too dangerous. So you're right. Somebody got to make a stand sometime, but November 2016 wasn't the time. It wasn't the time.
So, what's your take on two high-profile figures in this cabinet, Betsy DeVos and Jeff Sessions? What's your take on them?
The whole cabinet ain't got no business being there. The whole cabinet is in there to line their own pocket. These folks, these people are already old, they're already rich. So what are they in there for? Something that's going to benefit themselves. They ain't in there to help the people, to serve the people, that's for sure. This whole cabinet, you talking about, don't single out them two, the whole cabinet. It has ulterior motives to line their pockets.
So, transition to the NBA. Hey, Buttercup, everybody listen to the Sunday Service Show on Realcast Sports Radio. I'm Jungle Brother, and on the line is that Buttercup. She's a staunch Bernie supporter.
That's right.
She's also a Cavs fan. So you've been watching the NBA Finals. What's your take on the NBA Finals? What have you seen so far?
I only saw Game 4. I knew it was going to be a Game 5 because that's how capitalism works. Now, I watched that game. I watched the game like 3 times. It was some calls that could have went, the other way, but the Cavs still beat the wheels off of Golden State Friday night. Now, I didn't see the first 3 games, so I can't really comment. But I won't, I hear all the Golden State fans talking about, oh, they got, they cheated and they made sure there was a Game 5. They wanted a Game 5, but I ain't going to say that they had that many bad calls that would have made a difference because the refs ain't make no 137 points. The refs didn't have, I don't know how many 3-pointers Steph Curry missed. The refs didn't do that. So, hey, capitalism. And the Cavs show up. Maybe they just not getting going. We'll see. We'll see Monday night, but the refs did not give the Cavs that game. They earned it.
So, before I let you go, Buttercup, what you got to say to folks like Finch, Vince Wright, and First Lady, his wife, Trump supporters? What you got to say to them going into 2018, the midterm election?
Leave them drugs alone. Whatever made you think that voting for Donald Trump was a good idea, and whatever is making you think that he's a good president, and whatever is making you not get off of that train that's about to derail. Leave them drugs alone.
Oh, last thing.
Stop drinking the food. Maybe the water in your area got too much fluoride. Stop it. Whatever. I can't see how anybody is making any excuses for this man. People always say the media this, the media that. Yeah, the American media, mainstream media is biased. It's more liberal than conservative. But the thing about Donald Trump, ain't nobody got to make up nothing about Donald Trump. All they got to do is say, welcome to CNN and play the tape. Welcome to MSNBC, play the tape. Welcome to ABC, play the tape. This is everything coming out of his mouth. Ain't nobody got to speculate. So whatever is got you still believing that he is caring about you, leave it alone. Bad food, bad water, bad drugs, stop it. Go on a fast, detox, something, because something got your mind messed up.
Last thing. Me and K3000, we were talking about Betsy DeVos the other day about how she wanted to she rather, instead of funding public schools, she rather have vouchers for private schools, where kids get a better education. Basically, she don't want to rebuild the public schools. She want to just have incentives for folks to get a private education. How do you feel about that?
That's why she got picked to be the Secretary of Education. That's her mission. She don't care about public schools. She's trying to take all the funding out and give it to her rich friends' kids. She don't care nothing about somebody that don't have a choice but public school. Like I said, another rich old person. Why you in this job? Why? You are not here to serve the people. You're here to serve yourself and your friends. That lady could care less about public school. And I'm glad you brought her up. What was that, Florida A&M? They had her
yeah,
for that commencement speech.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad them kids cut up. Because they president and chancellor, whoever invited her, they need to be fired. Why you going to invite this woman? One of the first things that comes out of her mouth is she's going to tell her historically black college. But I can't remember if it was a group of them or just one. She's talking about school choice. These schools got started because that's the only school black people had a chance to go to. That's how ignorant she is. How insulting. You was up there talking about school choice to schools that got started because black people had no other opportunities or they wouldn't have got an education. Really? She there to cipher all the money out of public schools and get these vouchers for these rich people, her friends. They don't care. None of his cabinet cares.
So
I hope they all got Russian ties so they all can go to jail.
So in closing, Buttercup, G Money Gary Joyner says liberals and conservatives are in bed together. Skin matters more than party associations. What you got to say to that?
Said that skin matters more than party associations?
Yeah, he said these Democrats and Republicans are in bed together. They basically giving us the same options. I disagree, but what you got to say to that? Because folks like G Money ain't gonna listen to me. I mean, because if you got a Republican saying put money in private schools, and then you got a Democrat saying we need to put money in the public schools, and you got a kid going to public school, how you gonna say they in bed together?
A lot of them are. They got a certain amount of issues where they pretend to care. I put it this way: I say it's more Democrats that care than it is Republicans. But you got some Democrats that are just as shady, just as low down, don't care as you do Republicans. But like I say, I'm gonna choose the one that care whether people starve to death. But I mean, they got a point. But it's a few in there that don't fall into that category. They all, cut from the same cloth. Two wings on one bird. But it's more Democrats that actually care. We do need a third party, but we ain't there yet to the point where we can be giving votes to a third party yet, because we don't have enough people on board.
All right, last question, Buttercup. Bill Cosby on trial. Now you say you can't pass judgment because you wasn't there, and
Nope.
I shouldn't be saying all this stuff about Bill Cosby being innocent because I don't know Bill Cosby. What's your take on this? On this Bill Cosby in trial?
What you just said. I wasn't there. You wasn't there. I think I wasn't there. That's what I think.
So let me ask you a question. In the years you've been living, that you've been knowing Bill Cosby, you see him how he carry himself on radio, TV, whatever. From what you've seen of Bill Cosby, do he have done enough to get your benefit of the doubt? I mean, real recognize real, right?
He had it. He had my benefit of the doubt, but he lost it.
Why? What'd he do?
Because some of the things he admitted to. He had my benefit of the doubt. But I will say this. If it's just, let's just say, for the sake of argument, he is guilty. He was guilty.